Derek Bros with Mint Press News. I'm here in New York City at the Justice in Focus Symposium looking at the evidence regarding 9/11 attacks. It's the 15th anniversary, and I have the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Leroy Hulsey. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
So go ahead and tell everybody a little bit of your background first, and then we'll talk about what you're working on.
Okay, so I'm Professor Hulsey. I'm a department chair of civil engineering at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. I'm actually a registered structural engineer. Have been in practice for over 40 years. So anyway, I've done some high-rise buildings, and as a special consultant, I worked on the Dean Dome in North Carolina as an example. And so as part of that, and some forensic engineering experience I've had in the past, we were asked to investigate the possible collapse of World Trade Center 7 at the University of Alaska Fairbanks by AE 9/11 Truth. And so that's what I'm here for. We have been working on this since May of 2015, and so we're now in our beginning of our second year and have about 6 to 8 months left to finish up the work that we're involved in. At this point, we've got two. I have a PhD student working on it with me, and I have a doctoral research postdoc working on it with me. And so we've been doing this with two different computer programs, finite element programs, and also SolidWorks and AutoCAD to get a virtual structural system that will simulate the kind of things that we want to take a look at and possible modes of failure. We've already examined the probability of the building coming down by fire, and it's our preliminary conclusions based upon our work to date that fire did not produce the failure at this particular building.
That alone right there is, even though you're saying it's a preliminary finding, we still have just under a year to go before you'll be done with the study. But that alone as a preliminary finding saying that World Trade Center 7, did not collapse because of fire, goes against what we hear from the official government version of events. Your thoughts on that preliminary finding?
Well, our analysis, we tried to duplicate their work and determine that there were several factors that involved that should they have taken those things into account, they would have not gotten the solution they did. So at this point, I'm pretty confident that our work definitely illustrates that the movements that they had predicted, thermal expansion, could not have occurred, and so that it was the cause, based on their findings, of the beginning of the failure of that particular column 79 on floor 13, losing its bearing support and then progressively having failure problems all the way down and losing and ending up with a large lateral buckling problem. None of those things could, in my view, have occurred because our analysis showed we've tried to duplicate that, tried to make it that thing occur, and it just was not going to be possible using two different programs with two different researchers.
So the study is going to go till April 2017, and then at that point you've said that you want to assemble a panel of experts and also submit it for peer review. Can you tell us more about that, the plans once it's completed?
The idea is to take our findings and submit it to a peer review, academic peer review of those people that are not associated with the organization that are funding us, to get an unbiased view and criticize our work, and at that point then we will respond to that, make sure that we have everything taken care of properly, and at that point we will have it resubmitted to that peer review for final approval, and then once that's been done, then it's our intention to put it out for publication to peer-reviewed journals.
And how can the public at this point, we're at the 15th anniversary, your study is definitely, it's a historic in many ways. How can the public that are here today and the people watching at home, how can they support and help?
Well, I think anybody that wants to support this kind of work probably can provide financial support to the funding group that is paying the bill for us, which is they're paying it to the university. And AE 9/11 Truth is, I'm sure, would welcome any donations for that kind of effort. So.
Also, anything else you'd like to leave the people with?
Well, I think what's going to happen here is we're in the process of writing our third quarterly report, which we'll have in it the first quarterly report summary and the second quarterly report summary. That will then go for review by AE 9/11 Truth. We will then, once that's completed, they'll go on our website, and also will probably go on AE 9/11 Truth's website, so people then can read it and it'll be available.
Awesome. Thank you so much.